Alrighty, this is the recording for networking, project assignment number 3, video for submission. Assignment part 1, create simulation network link, .1.1.1, breaks up instead of the 3 messages, one that's 80 characters long, so it won't go through, and I'll have to break it apart and send both pieces. We have our first simulation. Link's basically the same. Networks had some changes in the host. In simulation 1, we made our message. We added sample data must be longer than 80 characters, so we added this additional text. If we run this, simulation 1, we will get, okay, it's done. We get it sending the packet. It cuts off at the end of C in character because it's too large. It then sends the rest of it with the added prefix. It ports it through the routers that we've already had set up, didn't have to change any of those. And at the very end, it receives the first part, and then through the second router, it receives the second part. So we have sample data must be longer than 80 characters, so we added this additional text. As you can see, that is the same as what we had in here. For part 2, we had to implement segmentation for part 2. So we've got our forward definition written with our MTU set to 30 for segmentation. Link was slightly changed. Yeah, just slightly changed. And we've got our simulation all written up here. So if we run this one, simulation 2, run. Let me expand this out so you can clearly see it. Forwarding packet. Oh, I ran 1 again. That's my bad. Run simulation 2. There we go. Okay. Yep, so we got our 2 segment messages. Sending packet. Once again, we're still implementing the first one in this. Breaks it apart because it's not long enough. But in this one, our length is greater than our link MTU. So it has to segment. Still sends the second one. Still sends the third one. Alrighty. What was the last part? Last part was, oh, this was the forwarding table. Alright. We had to implement a forwarding table, sending messages from host 1 to host 2 through routers A, B, D to host 3, taking the path of A, B, D, 3 to A, C, D, 4. And simulation 3, this is all basically the interesting stuff, is mostly in the simulation section. We had to set up routing table. Oh, no, no. We called it simple forwarding. It's basically a table, but it's not a table. It's more of like a partial list containing our references. Basically, that correlates to the value of going to A, but then like 0 to go up, 1 to go down, because we've set those in our table. Sorry, that's OBS. That's not what I meant. We took what we already were given. We expanded it out for all the additional parts. And then at the very end, we ran it with 2 messages twice. We're sending something from client 1, and it should be arriving at client 3 with the title client 1 packet. Client 2 needs to arrive at client 4, client 2 packet. And then we got a notation for the numbers of the packets that it'll be sending. If we run this one is a little messy, but I'll walk you through as best as I can. There's just more than the last one. So it starts everything up, sends the packets. We can see it has the weight of 0 for the 0, 0, 1 and 1. It goes through, and if you look where we've got our packs over here, here we go. Our 1s are relating, our 2s are relating. Yep. So our 1s are sending from source 1s, and our 2s are sending from host 2. That's about right. And we can go through that to show that. But if we skip down to the end, for at least that example, we can see the most important part. That is, where does it say host 4? So we say source 4. It received packet 0, so that's the first one. 2. Okay, so here we go. The way ours is set up is our host 2 sent it through our chart, and it received it at host 4. Back in, we can see host 3 received packet 0 from client 1. So host 3 received the first packet from client 1. If we go back in here, we can then see host 4 received its second one from client 2. So once again, the second one that was sent out went along the same path and got to host 4. And host 3 received the second one from client 1 again. So host 1 to client 3. In retrospect, we probably should have kept it host and host. But as you can see, they follow the same path as they were supposed to. With that, I believe that's 1, 2, and 3. That's the end of our video. If you have any questions, feel free to send us a message. And OBS is now started.